Hello everyone, how are you? I'm so happy to meet you all. So, how is things going on? Type in the chat box. How exactly is your day? How is your week going on? Hello everyone, how are you? I'm so happy to meet you all. So, how is things going on? Type in. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Great to see you all. So today's topic, how to deal with toxic people, right? We all have that, we all know that person, right? The one who leaves you feeling worse off after interacting with them. Maybe it's a manipulative family member, or a coworker who can't stop complaining about every little thing, right? Uh, it's a it's common to refer to these people as being toxic, right? If you have a hard time dealing with someone in your life, it's helpful to start by pinpointing problematic behaviors rather than simply labeling them as being toxic. Let's see some key signs of toxicity: self-absorption or self-centeredness, right? Manipulation and other emotional abuse, dishonesty and deceit, difficulty offering compassion to others, a tendency to create drama or conflict. So these are all the signs of toxicity, right? Sounds like familiar. Let's see how to respond to this behavior, right? We all have people of these habits or these kind of behavior, right? So let's see how we can manage, how to respond these kind of people. Now, first of all, avoid playing into their reality. Usually what happens is some people have a tendency to see themselves as the victim in every situation. If they mess up, they might shift the blame to someone else or tell a story that paints them in a more positive light, right? You might feel tempted to nod and smile in order to prevent an angry outburst. This might feel like the safest option, but it can also encourage them to see you as a supporter. So you decide whether you want to be a supporter and encourage them to be as victims. Try try respectful disagreement instead. You might say, I had a different take on the situation, and describe what really happened. Stick on the facts without making any accusations. Actually, what happens when we try to explain things, right? We'll just either we'll over explain, or we'll just keep silent and then listen to whatever they say, right? With While your disagreement might upset them, it might also lower the chances they will try involving you again. So don't get drawn, right? Dealing with someone's toxic behavior can be exhausting, right? So, you will feel after a point of time, you will feel that you're you're getting into their negativity, right? We don't want to get into that negativity, right? We always want to be positive. We want to be in that positive zone, right? The person might constantly complain about others, always have a new story about unfair treatment, or even accuse you of wrong doing to them, or not caring about their needs, right? So resist the urge to jump on the complaining train with them, or defend yourself against acquisition. Instead, respond with a simply, I'm sorry you feel that way, and leave it at that. When you try to explain, right, they will just increase the conversation and they will get into lot of negativity. So instead, just say, I'm sorry you feel that way, and then cut the conversation there itself so that you will not extend the conversation, right? Pay attention to how they make you feel, right? Sometimes simply becoming more aware of how someone's toxic behavior affects you can help you better navigate interactions with them. So, in case if you are having people who are with that toxic behavior, right? You can just observe what exactly they are making you feel. And most people occasionally say rude or hurtful things they don't mean. No one feels their best all the time, right? And being in a bad mood can make you lash out. This isn't necessarily toxic, but ask yourself if put downs, lies, or other types of emotional and verbal abuse characterize most of your interactions. Because uh, when when you create that awareness, right, you can differentiate whether that the other person is being toxic or just because of their mood they are behaving like that, right? Do they apologize or seem to notice how they what they say or do affects you, right? Personal struggles don't excuse abuse, and you don't have to accept it either, right? And after a point of time, right, instead of talking at the same time at that moment, what I mean, whenever this is happening, instead of talking to them at the same time, you talk to them about their behavior after some time. Okay, when things are okay and things are fine, right, at that point of time you can start talking to them, right? And then uh, and when you start talking to them, you just observe someone who gossips, manipulates others, or creates drama situations might not realize how their behaviors affects you or anyone else. An open conversation may help them realize this behavior is unacceptable, right? So, uh, how to talk to those kind of toxic people? I mean, it's a very difficult situation, right? So let me give you some tips here to keep things neutral, right? Try to stick to I statements instead of pointing at them. You just use the statements, I statements, which feel less accusatory for the other person, and set boundaries that work for you. All right. Here are some example of this in action. I feel uncomfortable when I hear unkind things about coworkers. I won't participate in these conversations. I value truest. I value trust in friendship, right? I mean, you can be a true friend to them. At the same time, you also value trust in their friendship, right? You can tell them that I value trust in friendship, so I can't continue this friendship if you lie to me again or if you abuse me again. So when you use I statements, right, it will create a kind of safe space for them to listen to you and then respond to you. If you say you, they can immediately start creating scene again, right? You don't want to get into that negativity again. And then put yourself first. On the flip side, behaviors doesn't have to be abuse or spiteful to be toxic, right? Other behaviors can be just as damaging. Maybe the other person in question desperately needs your help to get them out of bind. Every time you see them, or you're always giving and they are always taking, or you feel like their emotional stability depends on you, right? You might value your relationship with that person, but don't offer support at the risk of your own well-being, right? Your well-being is also important for you, right? You can't always take that negativity. So healthy relationship involves give and take. It's not just one-sided, right? In other words, you offer support, but you receive support too. So when you are offering support to the other person, you just make sure that you are receiving support when you need to, right? So this is very important. Take care of yourself involves making sure you have enough emotional energy to meet your own needs. I mean, if you don't have that emotional energy, what will happen? You will not be able to answer, right? This may not happen when you are giving everything to someone who doesn't offer anything in return, right? So just observe how the other person is behaving and then manage accordingly. Okay. Offer compassion, but don't try to fix them. I mean, we can't fix anybody. We have to understand people can change, but they have to be willing to put in the work to do so. You might want to help someone, but instead of writing them completely out of your life, but while you can always offer compassion and kindness, you likely won't be able to change them, right? At the end of the day, they have to commit to putting in the effort, right? Trying to help someone change before they are ready can sap your emotional resources further. So make sure when you are trying to help someone, whether they are ready or not, right? If they are not ready, there is no point at all. Say no and simply walk away. Okay. Have a hard time turning people down. You aren't alone. I mean, it happens to everybody, right? But if you decide to say no, don't back down. This may prove challenging, especially when they use a dramatic outburst, right, to try to get their way. But the more you practice saying no to things you are not comfortable with, the easier it becomes. So start practicing saying no to people. When you start doing it, slowly you will be in a position where you will not take that negativity. Removing yourself from the situation can help you avoid scenes, right? If you can't physically leave, make it clear you are no longer involved in that discussion. Say, excuse me, and turn away, for example. Okay, I'm giving an example here. So just don't involve in that conversation so that you will be in a safer zone. And then remember, you're not fault, right? Toxic behavior can make you feel like you did something wrong even when you know you didn't. I mean, that is how the other person starts attacking you, right? With lot of abusive words or something different. It's tough to face attacks from someone who behaves in a toxic manner. They might get personal, try to twist your words, or accuse you of wanting to hurt them, right? So at some time, you might even second guess yourself and rack your brain. Am I doing something wrong here? So, but remind yourself, their behavior has nothing to do with you. Restate your boundaries and try not to take their spite personally. Take deep breath to calm yourself or mindfully acknowledge their words so you can let them go without being affected, right? So this is how we can manage with toxic people, right? So in case if you have somebody toxic in your life, and if you want to manage, you can use these tips, right? Make yourself unavailable. People who act in a toxic way, right, can often sense who they can manipulate. They may move on when they see their tactics don't work on you. If you are never available, they might eventually stop trying to engage, right? This strategy can be particularly helpful at work. In case if you are having toxic colleagues, right, you can use this trick. You can just say, sorry, I have too much work. I can't chat right now. I got to prepare for that meeting. I have a deadline. I need to complete that work. So you can make yourself unavailable, right? These are the things. And sometimes cutting people out of your life may seem like the only way to escape their toxic behavior, but this is not always feasible. If you have to spend time with someone who exhibits toxic behavior, right, remind yourself their actions are not your fault nor your responsibility. It is important they know what you are not willing to tolerate, right? So with these tips, I'm signing off. Your life coach, Victory Vamsi. Thank you so much for tuning in daily. I'll be coming up with a different topic tomorrow. If you have something in your mind, please drop a comment so that I'll get in touch with you tomorrow again, and I'll come up with that topic. Right? Thank you so much. Thanks for being here. And if you have not yet subscribed to our channel, please go ahead and subscribe. We are going to give you lots of information for you. And daily morning, 6 o'clock, we have meditation session. Please do attend that and be happy and be joyful. Thank you. Signing off, your life coach. Have a good night.